So I passed by the place, and it wasn't as bad as I thought. Um, but yeah, I am still terrified. So I went back to the place that God called me to go back to. Like I said in a previous video, I've been to Miami before, and the last time that I was in Miami, I had a very huge spiritual awakening. It was a good side and a bad side to the situation. Situation really broke me, but it definitely made me, and it's the thing that triggered me into stepping into my relationship with God and really deepening it. So I'm grateful for it. And yeah, for so long I've been scared to go back here because of the trauma and the triggers that I deal with about, that situation. But God just said you cannot keep running from that. You cannot keep, putting it off, because this could be a place that I'm calling you to be, and eventually you might be, called to stay here. So you have to learn to eventually just fight your fears and not be so scared to jump into, what I called you into, although it's scary. And he's also teaching me that I can set it down at any given time. Like, I don't have to fight if I'm not ready to fully fight. Like, I can go back to the hotel. I can, just put it down and call it a night. I don't have to stay out all night and just fight my fears and push myself over my limits. He knows my limits, so I think that was enough for me, and I think it's time for me to go inside because I think, it's just enough for me. I'm still having fight or flight modes to where I try to run from things that God called me into, and, sometimes it's still hard. So that's the situation. I think I'm going to call it a night. It's 8 o'clock, and I'm about to just go back to the hotel because I feel the need to cry. So I just got back. I feel the need to cry, but I think I'm gonna hold it together until I'm done recording. Today was just a lot. It wasn't a lot happening, but it was a lot of emotions. Just the feeling of God's love is very overwhelming sometimes, and also going back to somewhere that really triggers you. It triggers something in you that makes you either, you're in fight or flight. And usually if I felt that feeling, I would run, right? I would run away from it. I would run towards, things that didn't serve me. I would run towards, things that brought me comfort, which wasn't good, which was sin, which was, things that God didn't want for me, because those things were what I could go to, they were easy, alcohol, drugs, relationships that didn't serve me, just things that weren't for me, but it comforted me in times of fight or flight, because I have a history of suffering from panic attacks when I get triggered. So it was just a lot. It was a lot going back to the place that triggered me the deepest, trigger my deepest wounds. It was hard. It's not easy to relive that. But I think God did that for a reason, so that I could just put it behind me, because, I just had to let go of the past. I had to let go of things that happen, situations that happen. I had to let it go in order to move on. And maybe there's a sense of me that needed that bit of release. So I needed to be at the actual place, right, where it started. So yeah, it was just a lot. I didn't expect to feel the emotions I felt, and they weren't bad emotions, they weren't negative emotions. It was just discomfort and just this urgency to run away, this urgency of just fear of getting hurt, fear of just the same thing happening, yeah. I don't have anything else to say, but yeah, today was a good day. Just God keeps reminding me that it's okay to take your cape off, at some point. You don't have to fight the world and defeat the world in 2 days. You don't have to do all that. when you want to call it quits, when you want to say, okay, that was enough for today, like, you can come back and just relax. Like, you did enough. So that's what I'm learning, just to not be hard on myself and try to overachieve things and try to get everything perfect. Like, I'm still scared of certain things. I'm still scared of unknown. So sometimes I back up. So God is just allowing me to tiptoe into it until I can fully just go into it. So, yeah, that's how today has been. So, yeah.